really felt like that,
Yeah. Well,
But when I told him, I said, the other two guys, I said, I don't think they're world class, so he dismissed them straight off. He said, well, I met this other guitar player in LA. He said, he's a great guitar player, he's a guitar teacher. And I said, who's that? And he said, his name's Randy Rhoads. And I said, well, nobody heard of him. And David Arden didn't want to fly Randy over because he was unknown, he was young, and he was American, and they wanted to keep it as a UK-based band. And so David Arden said no at first. And eventually Ozzy and I talked him into getting Randy over, and when the three of us met up in Jet Records office, that would have been about October '79, we caught a train together up to Ozzy's place and began we just sort of had a play together, and Ozzy sang, and we just jammed, really. Well, Randy and I got on like a house on fire as well. As soon as we started playing, the first break that we had, we said almost simultaneously to each other, I like your playing, something like that, a line like that, like, good playing, or I like your playing, or I like the way you play, something like that, but we said it at the same time.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Into the Void Ozzy Osbourne tribute, episode 6 of just the random Ozzy Talks. These aren't normal schedule lives. Every schedule live is Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, which I'd also like, though, to start a new segment, though, which we will, though, as well. Probably get like 2 solid scheduled times in there a week live. But for now, it's Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and over the weekend, as you know, from the ones who've been watching, that it could be any time. So I thank you very much, though, for being here. And just give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm all set up right here. What is going on, Victrola Lady? Thank you for being here. As always, appreciate you so much. I think I saw you right about 8-track, so I got to well, tonight, though, I said welcome to Ozzy Talk, episode number 6. Let's have a good time, and please feel free to join me. Diary of a Madman came out 44 years ago today. I'd love to honor that masterpiece to start. I'll honor Diary of a Madman album. I'll be in chat later. Notification. Thank you. And then I'm sorry, but I always get sidetracked by 8-tracks. When I see that, I have to read them. I have the original 8-track tape, the first press in LP to cassettes, to reissue on LPS. Yes, I know. I saw the picture, and you are lucky. I definitely want them. Hey, Gina, what's going on? I hope you're having a great time out there in Cali. Thanks for being here. I'll see you Monday. Don't forget, this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Gina and I will be doing The Ultimate Sin. Talking about The Ultimate Sin, breaking down some songs, some stories, all that good stuff, just like we did, though, with the first 3 episodes. So that'll be a live, though, with sorry, I thought that was the live with Gina button that I had somewhere, but live with Gina, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Not much. I appreciate you too. Yes, I did write about 8-track tapes. Yes, you did. Hey, Emily Lewis. All right. So tonight I was thinking, I was like, am I going to do a live or not? Am I not going to do a live? And you know me, I'm very transparent individual. So, it's either like, all right, I'm going to go, try to play some piano or try to lay down or try to watch a movie and try, and after just losing my father and stuff like that, I was just like, no, I'd rather, it's just better to be out and talk and having a good time and all that type of stuff because for right now, because that's still like a whirlwind. And to be honest, that didn't even hit me yet. And but I just want to just keep moving forward as best as possible. And I thank you all, though, for being here. And I just wanted, the last thing I'll say about that, though, is thank my brothers yesterday, though. Appreciate you guys. All yous, love yous. And you already know it. Moving on, yesterday, though, it was kind of odd, like, after I got home from my dad's funeral and the dinner and everything, though, like that. And then after all the dinner and people are leaving the house and stuff like that, then I got to interview Mr. Bob Daisley. And I'm going to break that up, though, into two parts. Funny thing is, too, like, I'm getting like all these like messages and emails, of course, again, from, and there's some of the comments like, oh, what was he talking shit? Oh, was he doing? Not at all. Um, I mean, complete complete gentleman. And the stories that I shared one in the beginning, if you saw the theme song, um and I believe that one, though, that I shared, was that the Randy one. Real quick, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was. Okay. So it was when he was talking about being up with Randy Rhoads and all that stuff. So what I'll break down, though, in a nutshell about that interview, and also Diary of a Madman, 44 years ago today. You know, it happened, the interview just so happened to happen the day of my father's funeral. So it's like, how could I get this edited in time? It would have been great to release it today of all days. But it was about an hour, I'd say an hour and 52 minutes. And I'm gonna break it up, though, like into two parts. And if you follow my Instagram or Facebook, there's already clips on that. And it's Bob's old school. He does like phone interviews, not like streams. So I was just like this, though, with the phone. Funny thing about that, though, too, is I didn't even realize that my cell phone, though, didn't even have the long distance or anything like that. They shut my phone off last night. I couldn't even like make phone calls. I'm like, what is going on? And I call up my provider, and they're like, did you talk to someone out of the country? And I said, yeah, why? They're like, well, we had to shut you down to protect you. And I said, oh, really? To protect me? How long did you wait? An hour and a half. How much is that? $350. Oh, you protected me, but you got your 350. Fucking motherfuckers. But it was worth it. I didn't give a shit at all. Went right up there this morning, paid that. And but thank you for the interview, Bob. And just a class act. I'm not gonna lie, going into this interview, a lot of people like were saying, oh, like, it was just, yeah, it was completely opposite to what I was expecting. Not the stories and like the history and all that stuff, but like, with everyone who chimes in the comments, and they're the ones that do it the most, you know, um, that chime in and, no, is it gonna be talking shit? Is it gonna be no? It was fine. It was great. Uh, was there situations that happened? Yeah. If everyone knows the history, yeah, there are situations that happen. But this page right here is to celebrate the life of Ozzy Osbourne, period. And I would never even have anyone on if they were going to trash Ozzy Osbourne. And Bob absolutely, though, didn't. And we're talking about Gary Moore too, Richie Blackmore, and a lot of just a lot of stuff. And I just he actually said to me, he's like, I like the question that he asked, because I wanted to, I asked him, like, instead of just, because I guess maybe Bob's used to it. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, though, Bob. I am assuming here, but you do so many interviews that it's kind of like right when we started, I said, all right, we're recording, Bob. And then he jumped like right into the Ozzy like part. And like, I just want to interview Bob. I want to know Bob as a person. Like, what really got Bob? Like what was the first time as a child? And Bob's like, man, I want to play music and all that. And it was great, because then I got to go and do that. And I go back to all that stuff. Not the whole, what it's he said, she said BS. No, the magic of making the music they made is what this interview it was about. And it was, we had questions from you, Victrola lady. Every one of yours got answered. And I'll wait for the interview, obviously, to drop. I'm not going to just say they're the answers, though. But, and the Bonnie, and also, forgive me for 1 second, Smiley, Coyote, what's up, my man? The 3 separate ones that you asked about personal moments with Ozzy, and oh my God, yeah. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. And just a gentleman. And I learned a lot though yesterday. You know what I mean? Certain bands that happen that certain people are in, and but just hearing like the little tiny in betweens and stuff. And if you ever read his book and stuff like that, even with reading the book after speaking, though, you still learn no in betweens. He was just a gentleman and just a fantastic individual, and it was an honor to speak with him. And was it let me share a clip of how Diary of a Madman came about. And I can understand this completely because Ozzy's blues, and I will say this though, the respect for Ozzy as a musician, even though he didn't play instruments or whatever, was the way how Bob was putting, like, he just had like that blues in him, like he just had it in him, like you see, even like with the harmonica or whatever, like how he get, like, was it the Rare Breed, and they used to be like, hey, you have to stand. No, he just had that though naturally in him. Definitely a musician, and definitely it was just cool hearing and here's this voice that's just so like distinct. It's not. Then I got to talk to him about Symptom of the Universe at the end of it and stuff, about how he really singing soulfully and stuff, and not just not just like the Iron Man Electric Funeral type stuff. And yeah, it was great. I think these are all going to enjoy it. But let me play a clip though for you here from yesterday's interview. Now, Zach Wildo would always say something like, oh, so I think it was 9 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Like when Ozzy would come in with his like a melody, would it pretty much be like the first one he came up with was pretty much that? That's it. Of course, you got to shape it up a bit,
Yeah, of course, yeah. When Ozzy first heard what we'd done with Diary of a Madman, he hadn't been there the day that we were working that up. It was just me and Randy and Lee.
Yeah.
Well, Lee had an idea for a vocal melody for it because he was a good singer too, Lee, and he had the mic on the drum kit, and he was singing a rough idea of a vocal melody, where it would fall and where it would go and stop and all the rest of it. So, but when Ozzy came back the next day and we said we've got an idea for the title track, Diary of a Madman, and we played it to him, but he didn't like it. He said, "Who the fuck do you think I am, Frank Zappa?"
Wait, about the title track?
He didn't get it. He didn't understand it because it had weird timings and strange.
Which
chords,
yeah.
Which was why I thought that it would make a really good title track, Diary of Madman, because it had the weird timings and the chord patterns and parts. It was perfect for that.
It's one of the most. Yeah. Go ahead.
Eventually, Lee showed him. He said, "Look, the vocal will go here. It will go like this." And once he got it, he understood it, and then he liked it. But at first, he didn't like it, and he didn't want to do it.
Well, yeah, and and the progressions of that songs and everything, the timing with the, like you were saying, and everything like that, it is definitely a different beast though to what he was like used to in the past, without a doubt.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Weird timings and weird chord structures, and it was ideal for a song to be called "The Diary of a Madman."
And then there it is, though, Diary of a Madman. And at first, though, when I was talking to, and by the way, I don't interrupt. It's just, though, when we talked about Diary and Crowley, I was just like a dog waiting for a bone. You know what I mean? And we had some good laughs, though. But which I'll have to edit myself out on a few, though, takes. But it was funny. And Don's the type, Bob, because I was just about to get into talk about Don Airy. But Bob's the type a guy, he just tells it like it is. But and what he meant though by that was, so if you heard the first part, what I was saying 9 out of 10 times, he was like, yeah, like he's like what like so this is a guy, who played with Richie Blackmore. I mean, we all know what Richie Blackmore is, right? Gary Moore. I mean, unbelievable. And these are musicians. And if you watch the documentary, this is what I took away from it, because I always like, instead of just looking at the surface, I try to go in, and don't blame me. And Sharon says something though, like, he always wanted to be accepted as like a musician, not just like a madman, this and that. And like to hear it all the way how Bob was talking about him, like in that manner, it was just like, like, because Bob's the type of guy, he's a professional musician. He's not going to go around and just play around like with anyone or whatever. But they were just, blown away though by this voice and his melodies. And even like Mr. Crowley, he came up with Mr. Crowley. What's weird about Ozzy is, as people know, like from Sabbath and stuff, Geezer wrote almost lyrics, and a lot of other lyrics were written though by others, so for Ozzy, but it was his melody and being able to sing over other actual, like, instead of just, of course, songs like NIB, those songs you have to sing to the melody. But yeah, that was the only one. And I could see, just from, because if you watched me even like playing it and stuff on the piano, just the progressions of that coming from everything that he was used to beforehand. Who the fuck you think I am, Frank Zappa? Yeah, just a great interview. And I am going to try my hardest though to get part one of that out to you though tomorrow evening. As long as everything though goes good, and I'll even put something up in the post section beforehand. But I think he's definitely gonna enjoy it. Now let me get to some of the comments. And then I had to run downstairs though to grab a Coke when I was playing, because I just make edits, like, I wing it. So I just made the edit real quick for the song and everything, ran downstairs, came up. So the first clip too, I'll probably end up playing again. But let's see what we got, because I see some other names. There's Witchy Woman. Yay. I didn't know we were on tonight. What's up, Witchy? Great to see you here. Did you see the photos I posted of Ozzy's pumpkin patch? Yes, I did. Absolutely. And La Senorita. See, I always say La Senorita because she changed the toe to Vintage Bonnie. I still think I hear Ozzy. My dog I'm talking about. That's my chair squeaking. Like I'm still like, what's up? Because her bed was always on the side here. Just weird. It's weird as we get older, the house gets empty. I just want to see one thing. Nice. Victrola posted another thing. Oh, no, I did not see this one. This one, though, it looks like the one, though, that she posted. I wonder if it's the same one from weeks ago, but if it's still like that. That's awesome. Thank you, Witchy Woman. Don't forget everyone in the community. Mikasa, Sukasa, this is the doors open for you. All you got to do is be subscribed, and you could just go in there and post up to 5 pictures just like me and write whatever you want on this channel. So please do so. Like to my see, and the thing that I hate though about the community, I love the community. I love each and every one of you. But what gets me is I don't get notifications ever though about like when people. So I always remember like go back and check. But I'll get to everyone. Look at me. See, that's how I am. Like I get to every comment. Like I don't know. People take the time though to actually comment. I gotta respond. But for everyone who hasn't figured it out, I'm formerly Witchy Woman YouTube. I don't know what's going on with the name changes. Shred's in the house. Awesome interview. Yeah, Shred. It was long. It was about an hour and 52 minutes. And like I only put 2 minutes up. And if you just came on, since we're getting in the middle of that, because that's me and AJ's music at the beginning. But for the people who missed that popped on though, there's the other clip here about Randy Rhoads.
reason, and it really felt like that, you know.
Yeah. Well,
but when I told him, I said, the other two guys, I said, I don't think they're world class, so he dismissed them straight off. He said, well, I met this other guitar player in LA. He said, he's a great guitar player, he's a guitar teacher. And I said, who's that? And he said, his name is Randy Rhoads. And I said, well, nobody heard of him. And David Arden didn't want to fly Randy over because he was unknown, he was young, and he was American, and they wanted to keep it as a UK-based band. And so David Arden said no at first. And eventually Ozzy and I talked him into getting Randy over, and when the three of us met up in Jet Records office, that would have been about October '79, we caught a train together up to Ozzy's place and began we just sort of had a play together, and Ozzy sang, and we just jammed, really. Well, Randy and I got on like a house on fire as well. As soon as we started playing, the first break that we had, we said almost simultaneously to each other, I like your playing, something like that, a line like that, like, good playing, or I like your playing, or I like the way you play, something like that, but we said it at the same time.
Yeah, so the chemistry was just right there, though, clicked, though, immediately, and him and Ozzy were immediately like, no, get this guy over here, and thank God, because the rest is history. And it was great. We got into Randy. I was just talking about, I was asking, without giving away anything, I was just asking about like his humbleness and all that, just at his age and always like learning stuff like that. It was just great. And the Bark at the Moon stuff that you asked, though, Victrola, all that stuff. It was it was just, it's a great interview. We covered a lot. I think we pretty much covered. I mean, even he said towards the end, he's like, I think we got it all. It's just like, yeah, he's like, yeah, it was long. It's definitely long. But yeah, definitely down, just down to earth, straight shooter, and tells it like it is, and was very, very classy, and it was just very interesting, though, learning, though, like the there's a lot of singers, though, out there that come in, they can sing. And singers are definitely like musicians and stuff, though, but just like, learning just the little stories about Ozzy. And the one thing that I'm going to bring up, and this is why, like, I'm not just going to put a picture up and then boom, another picture, and then boom, another picture. So it's up faster. Because once it's up forever. And, he saw him, like, right afterwards, like, and he was talking about, like, when Ozzy's father passed, like, he took it like real hard and stuff like that. And like, I just want to do some like editing and all that type of stuff just to make it look nice and all that type of stuff. And put the right type of work into it and music into it and stuff. And I'm quick with it, don't get me wrong. But I just do it by myself, by hand. I use AI or any of that, my own music with AJ Bartoletti and all that type of stuff. Because I was even telling Bob yesterday, he could be like, yeah, here, use this, use that, but you still get, though, it still gets taken down, just YouTube knows. So but please bear with on that one, though, because there's just a lot of, I could make that into a documentary, because it was a phone interview. You don't have to see me on it, pictures going, video going, it's it'd be nice. But what's very annoying, let's see, awesome interview for everyone who hasn't figured out. Oh, you're talking about the names. Yeah, well, just like Victrola ladies, EB. But here's what you have to understand. When you comment on the comments for the normal, I'm such a diva. I can't even fucking bend down for that one. Jesus Christ. Sorry. But when I get your comments, like on a normal video, it actually says Victrola lady. It does say witchy woman. It's just in here for some reason. And I thought it was something I did, but when I hit comments, show comments on stage, yeah, and I have it all set up right, so I have no idea if it's a StreamYard thing or YouTube thing. Old ways were better. I miss the old days. Me too, pal. But your names are not changed. What's up, Witchy? Uh, I was so happy to have something to contribute. You all could contribute at any time. I put up vintage Ozzy pinups and clippings, Ozzy through the years, but haven't posted anything else. Keep posting, please. I just saw though the other post that you just put up. I love that. Absolutely love it. I met him, missed it. I looked to her later. Randy was 17 years old when he made his first album with Choir Right. It was released Japan only. Absolutely, though, correct. And also, well, I'm sure it's about I don't know, maybe some people, but maybe even if one person doesn't know, then it's like because like when you know like a lot about a certain situation, you got to realize maybe someone else doesn't know a real lot about a certain situation. So I don't want to like give away like certain things and stuff, but like songs though from like Blizzard of Oz though that were like already not dumb, but pretty much you know you got to realize, like, the musicians that Bob played with his resume and everything like that. And you get a young 25-year-old, though, coming on. I keep saying 25 because that's when he passed, though, but 24-year-old come over and just humble and I don't know. I just think of myself at 24. I could see being humble around those musicians and wanting to play great and like this and that and get your act together, but then like, when they all go out to drink or whatever, like you're still getting lessons and stuff. It's just wow, what a man. It'll be under new in the community. Got it. Please. And the more that you post, I mean, just the better. Like, the more we get to see. Oh, I do know have to shout out though, my good friend though. I So I got home the other night. Obviously, I was bumming a little bit, just sitting here. She's like, "Oh, I could definitely they'll make you smile." And I was like, "Yeah, right, whatever." Blah blah blah. And then she's like, "Boom!" So thank you, Linda Scarpa. I cannot wait though to get that. She got me the a limited edition though, Bark at the Moon, in excellent condition. Doll that out in New York City where she lives, and look out though for her father's movie with Mark Wahlberg's playing her father, Greg Scarpa Sr. And By Any Means, they already filmed it, so it's coming out in 2026. But it's a big movie. But thank you, Linda, very much. You're the best for that. Oh, we got Desmond in the house. What's up, Desmond? You can't kill rock and roll. It's here to stay. One of my favorite songs off Diary of a Madman. Absolutely. And thank you for bringing me back into the Diary of a Madman. Um, and it was real cool because because we could at least talk about this part, like because those albums were just boom, boom, back to back. But it was they did it though. Like there wasn't songs written from Blizzard that were that could have been on Diary. It was like they wrote for Blizzard and then boom, wrote for Diary. And it's even when I told Bob yesterday, I said to him, I said, listen, it's so hard though with those two albums to separate them, like, because they're just like blended together. And he is like, yeah, like they are, because it's just they're blended together. And then remember when I said though that thing with Ozzy, and if you walk into a record store though, and it's like how Ozzy always sounds, even after Blizzard and Ultimate Sin and Dire, all of them, the later years and all that. It's just like his own section, like, and then like everyone at this time were doing like disco, and they were doing freaking the hair metal, and like these guys just played though what they loved and felt, and boom. And it was just real cool to ask, like, listen, man, when you're like, because I played in it, but a bunch of bands, like, nothing like nowhere near that status. But I'm just saying, like, I know at least enough to feeling of like when you go have a smoke break, when you're like, oh, that was a cool riff, man. I was like after like Crazy Train, do you just look at each other and just like be like, all right, yeah, like we're good. Because I mean, it's like, how could you not hear that? Or like after Mr. Crowley, and that's what it was more about. It was more about breaking down the magic of like, how the songs came together. And which was awesome. It was, yeah, I mean, it was just it was awesome. And so for the people that are like writing emails and comments and asking this or that, no, it was a fabulous, very positive interview, and I can't wait for you to see it. All right, let's see. Let me go all the way down. That's awesome, Fortress. We should all post a playlist of our favorite Ozzy songs. Do it up. Absolutely. And speaking of playlists, I'm setting this all up in the playlist anymore. So, like these Ozzy Talks, because this is episode 6 anymore, it'll be a playlist. Ozzy Talks. Boom, bam. Now that I interviewed Bob, and I have 2 other interviews that are set up, which I won't be the only one though doing the interview. Like I said, anyone else is welcome, and that's what's happening. But what I'm trying to say is that the like interviews will be in a certain playlist, so nothing, so everything's not just scattered around. The only shorts will even be in a playlist, like Black Sabbath. I'll put all the shorts in a playlist. The Ozzy ones though will be tough, but if it's like the Osbournes, but I'm doing that though over the weekend and getting the channel all organized up in the playlist, so this way everything's not scattered around and you could just find it like that. And yeah, but I'm down for that, Witchy Woman. That's awesome, Fortress. On my wall next to my Randy Rhoads stuff. What did I miss? I still have Ozzy figure from 1999. Nice. I believe that one that I got is from 98 in the box in the whatever they call it. I used to collect baseball cards. It was like mint condition, but it's like in the best like condition. And to for that long though to be like preserved, I was just like, but I don't care if the thing fucking costed $1 and someone just said here or threw me a keychain. Just thinking of that was just very nice of her. So thank you so much, Linda. But that's not coming out of the box. That'll be right here in the box by next week. So without a doubt. I can't believe I still have it. I was 17 when I got it. I'm 43 now. That's freaking awesome. And you're gonna have it for life. I have a ton of Randy pictures and Ozzy posters on my walls. I have unique decorating taste. Nice. You should well no, that's too weird because that's your house, you know what I mean? But I was just saying maybe just like the pictures of like, what you have, that would be cool though. Let's see. I remember the werewolf doll. I should have bought it. Well, yep, that's what she got right. You mean this right here? It's gonna pop up. Yeah, I'm looking forward though to that though. So thank you, Linda. Where's Gina, Vaz, and Briarly? Well, it's very late. Briarly's usually never on the Ozzy Talk. She's always on Mondays. Last Monday we didn't have an episode because of my father. And but this Monday though we're back with the ultimate sin. Um Vaz, I'm not sure, and Gina was here earlier, and I noticed she is on a trip though today because I talked to her earlier as well. For everyone who hasn't figured out, I finally Witchy Woman see, I'm way up there. Oh, okay. Hello, friends. It's not weird. I'll post those. No, but you know what I mean. Like, that's your song. I didn't mean like, but you know what I'm saying. Some people could be that way. Why am I seeing names that other people though aren't? Oh, fairies were boots. What's up, my man? Great to be here. Thanks for being here. We're just talking a little bit though about we're just doing a random normal Aussie talk like I always do on Friday or Saturdays. Random, just talk about everything, anything. But I figured this it's 44 anniversary, 44 the 44-year anniversary of Diary of Madman. So you know, obviously, we jump all over the place, but that's always though the baseline though, right there. And I just got done interviewing Bob Daisley yesterday. It went fantastic. So stay tuned for that, buddy. That'll be coming out though real soon. And but it'll be I think definitely probably a two-parter than release it all, because if I make it all into one, then it won't be out for like a week and a half or something though, like that. So probably make it into two parts because it is long. And it's just great though, because it's easy to make it up into two parts because the way how we talked though, like about Blizzard, Diary, and then went into um Bark at the Moon, and then from the Older Sin to went up to the No More Tears part with Mike and Ez and all that stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Mind Over Madness is on Tuesdays, correct? Yes, 7 p.m. Eastern. They cost a fortune more than their poor condition lets on. Absolutely. Have a good night. Will not miss the Ultimate Sin Talk. That is my all-time favorite Ozzy album, Killer of Giants. It's a good one, my man. Desmond, have a great night, brother. Thank you. Oops. I mean, my posters are in poor shape. I overpaid for them. Oh, no, I don't judge like that. I'm just saying, later, Desmond. Night, Desmond. But no, I don't judge though at all like that whatsoever though. But I I wish I wish StreamYard though would actually let me, because you know how I am. I'm not someone that like would hoard like whatever. Like I would just put even the raw cuts up of some of the interview though from yesterday, but they only give you those certain amount of time limit on actually I just thought of something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This would be good as a title track for Diary of a Madman, so I'll make this one Diary of a Madman. So I wrote the lyrics for Diary of a Madman for that song, and that's how that came about.
And the song, Mr. Crowley, I remember when I was 5 years old, I mean, I heard that intro, and that's what I'm a keyboard player, and I immediately started. I think that's what got me on keyboards, that whole intro, and just asking him the questions. I just thought was just genius of of a song, and like lyrically wise, like it's I don't know, it's just so profound. It's just unbelievable.
Well, that title came from Ozzy and Mr. Crowley. It was supposed to be about Mr. Crowley, but I wanted to turn it round. I didn't want to be sort of pro-Satanist or pro-darkness or any of that stuff. So I made it sort of Crowley. What were you thinking?
Well, and and there's all it's perfect, and that's why everyone who's like, "Oh, you're saying this. You sang about Aleister Crowley, this or that." I'm like, read the lyrics.
That's all that's it. Yeah.
But I mean, just incredible revelation, Mother Earth. I mean, believer. I mean, just the baseline. I mean, suicide solution. I actually, what call was written beforehand, correct? Why is it escaping my mind right now? Goodbye to Romance.
Oh, right, yeah.
Randy already had that.
Romance. Well, Goodbye to Romance and You Looking at Me, Looking at You. They were the two of the first songs that we actually started to put together as the three of us before we got Lee, because we were auditioning drummers, and during the audition of drummers, we were sort of in between auditioning drummers, we were writing material, and those two were the first two that we wrote. So,
Bob, what was it like? I mean, what was it like, if you don't mind me asking? Because I was probably scared just to a little bit just different from the history, and then like just the magic of being like, you know, in the room. Like did you guys know what you were writing was monumental?
Not really at the time. I remember after we'd finished recording the first album, we were sort of listening back to stuff that we'd done, and after a little while we started thinking, hello, something special's going on here.
I mean,
and it was, you could feel it. And then other people began commenting. We had people coming down from the record company to hear us, and they were picking out lyric lines and guitar lines and things that they loved. And we thought, well, yeah, this is pretty special stuff. The thing is, you have to remember that in 1980, when we recorded that album, it was March 1980, the things that were in vogue at the time musically were punk and disco and new wave.
Yep.
So what we were doing wasn't considered in vogue, if you know what I mean. It was sort of, but we didn't think, well, how can we write a hit song, or what's in the charts at the moment, or how can we cash in or jump on the bandwagon of what's trendy or in vogue at the moment. We just thought, we just got to do what we're good at. And we went in and we just acted out ourselves, our own, from the heart. And I think that's why it became so naturally. People could feel the enjoyment in the music that we were having, because we weren't trying to be anything other than what we naturally were, and we were just being ourselves. You know, Randy was a fantastic rock guitarist, but he had classical training, and he had classical influences, blues influences, and it's the same with Ozzy. He had this voice that became very, very recognizable. It was like a trademark voice.
Yeah, and you know, Ozzy doesn't get enough credit though. For if you listen to the end of Symptom of the Universe, when he's like singing with his soul, when it gets into that little jazz funk session at the end there, like his blues, like singing when he's screaming at the end, it's the end of Symptom of the Universe. It's mind blowing. Like he's singing, like, you know, he actually has soul, like blues. You could tell they all came from a blues background.
Yeah, that's right. Well, so many of the artists that we all loved were blues orientated or blues influenced.
Yeah.
We all loved Zeppelin, we all loved Hendrix, we all loved the early Jeff Beck group. We all loved Cream, you know. They're all.
Well, Sabbath before Sabbath, but Sabbath before Sabbath, they were Paul the Talk Loud. They were then him and Geezer had the rare breed, so they were just doing the blues, like, you know, just constantly, you know. So, you know, he had that.
Even Led Zeppelin at the time were huge, and they were blues orientated as well.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, and so now you guys
But Ozzy's vocal melodies were very important. Randy and I would put the music together, and we'd have the song ideas, and Ozzy would just come in and sing whatever came into his head as a melody and phrasing, and then I would write lyrics to a tape of him doing that.
Now, Zakk Wylde
melodies were always strong.
Now, Zakk Wylde, though, would always say something like, so I think it was 9 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Like when Ozzy would come in with his, like, a melody, would it pretty much be like the first one he came up with was pretty much that's it? I mean, of course, you got to shape it up a bit, you know.
Yeah, cool. Well, this would be good as a title track, Diary of a Madman. So I'll make this one Diary of a Madman. So I wrote the lyrics for Diary of a Madman.
Mr. Crowley, we started asking lyrically why.
We were listening to
his soul when it gets into that little jazz funk section at the end. It's just like
1 second.
Now, Zakk Wylde was.
The reason why I'm skipping is because that's the clip I already shared.
On Diary of a Madman, Johnny Cook was supposed to credit, and he didn't get his credit. But there's no keyboard player credited on Diary of a Madman. But people assume that because Don Airy had played and been credited on the first album, that it came on the second album, but it's not. It's Johnny Cook. I worked with Johnny Cook, and he was the keyboard player with Mungo Jerry when we worked together in Mungo Jerry in 1973 and 74. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I just because no, I know that's a common misconception of that we hear at times though, and I wasn't even sure, and I mean maybe I'll take.
So there's a little sneak peek though of I forgot though. I also did it though on my little recorder though too. So I was like, oh, you know what? I could play the little clips though here and there. So you never know where you get an Ozzy Talk at night. But that was about I played about 7 minutes of clips of it though. But I think you guys are definitely gonna enjoy it. And what's up, Silly Munchkin? I love seeing the wrench. Love it. Thanks for being here. Good night, Witchy Woman. My Randy Rhoads GNR posters are rough, tough. That's why you got to get the little glass dolo over them. But I can't though here though because it just shines too much. Like this thing is canvas, but even though it looks different because I have the green on. I don't know why I put the green no light on, but it is though what it is. Hold on 1 second. I don't know why they're doing that up on top. Just a little computer glitch though. If anyone doesn't, I want to thank everyone too though. Every week it just seems like more and more keep coming in from people. So thank you very much. Please email the channel at ozzyosbourntribute@gmail.com. I get back to you as soon as possible. And that's for anyone at all. Whether you want to come on, whether you just want to email and ask something, whether you want to post something, whatever. Just that's the email right there to contact the channel. Ozzy Osbourne Tribute Page at gmail.com. Thank you. What else we got? I have an autographed Ronnie James Dio poster that is beat up also. Yeah, so what show was that from? I paid around $100 each for mine. And they're in what shape though? Like, are they in, I mean, just for your just normal poster? Yeah, I mean for the actual original though ones that came out, then you're gonna pay that. But I'm just trying to think because think of the Bark at the Moon though doll though that it's like in excellent condition though in the box and all that. And I believe it came something like over like three something, whatever. So, but for poster, and I would think that there'd be less of those dolls though made, just like with the 8-track tape, with the Bark at the Moon. Listen, I'm gonna have to make that purchase of Victrola. I asked you a question too in email though, but I'll wait till you check. So I'll keep saying Victrola, but Victrola, especially after getting that doll, and then I know that they're more expensive. The other ones I think you said are closer to 50, and I think you said that one's $199.99, so $200 because it came out in 83, and that's when they started cutting the 8-tracks. So a lot harder to get. So, but that's definitely a purchase that I definitely would want. Rough shape, all vintage. Well, let me know next time I know that you're paying that much for a poster. If you want an Ozzy poster, I'll give you an Ozzy poster. It was from the last live tour, 99. Yeah, well, there's one though that I can't though get rid of though. That's in no, that was in the storage though with my piano. And speaking of that, because I'm about to get that baby out right there. Look at there. Oh yes, cannot wait to get her back. I like the old grandma though. Afghans, so don't make fun of me. But and if you do make fun of me, I don't give a fuck. I love him, but about to get that guy back, so I'm excited though about that. It's been in storage for over almost 2 years now, so that's from 1892 as well. Yeah, I love an Ozzy poster. Yeah, and I got some. I got with the actual. Will it be the glass is out though? But it's like, well, it's not this. It's not what's over. I want to get one though. No, like I want to get that. I want to get this right here to look exactly like this. Just for this channel though. For when I'm doing the look at this. See what is going on with this. 1 second. I can't even get up to the hold on. One second. I might have to X out of here. I don't know what the problem is here. All right, I'm back. I apologize though very much though about that though. We are back on the channel, but what I was trying to say is that I would love just to get, because they do the custom ones made too though. Just I'd love to get this over there just for this channel, because I can always though take them down as well. But this is so much better than green screen now. But yeah, tonight, like I say, Ozzy Talks are just like, we hang out, we chill, we relax, we do whatever. If you guys want to hear 5 more minutes of that Bob Daisley interview, let me know. I could definitely facilitate that. And yeah. Let's see. I think I recently found out I have Speak of the Devil poster. I have a Randy Rhoads live poster, all vintage, and a promo poster for No Rest for the Wicked. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, you're definitely paying that for those 100%. Speak of the Devil is the first vinyl I ever got in my life. Love that album. It was live, it was live, and it was right at the Ritz. Brad Gillis on guitar. But I just remember as a kid with the mouth wide open with the blood, and that's just something that always just stuck with me, that cover. That's good. You went to see Ronnie James Dio shred. Might be the coolest experience ever. First album I ever got was Ride the Lightning. First album that you ever got in your life was Ride the Lightning? I'm trying to think what I got in my life. Because, I was introduced stuff in my life. Whether it was 8 tracks, whether it was... Someone was just talking about Sabbath 8 tracks to me yesterday. Who the hell was it? I thought of you, Victrola. Oh, my cousin. Yeah, my cousin Anthony. He thinks that he has freaking Master of Reality. I'm like, can I have it? He goes, yeah. I said, all right. I'm happy I just remembered that, because I'll be calling him tomorrow. Yeah, he brought that up yesterday, and I was like, wait a minute, what? That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, no, yeah. He's like, I do. And I was like, all right. Or no, it wasn't Master Reality. It was Volume 4. It's Kill a Man. It's fucking great. I forget, regardless, I'm getting it. Yeah, that wasn't given to me. First album I got was actually Paranoid from my mother. Me too, man. She bought it for me. Oh, okay. But I was going to say that was the first Sabbath album, though, that I ever heard in my life, though, from my mother. you know, they loved my folks, like they loved the Beatles, they loved like Harry Chapman, Neil Young, and then you know with Sabbath, they always just had Paranoid, and that was the first album though that I from Sabbath though that I ever heard, and I mean immediately after you hear that album, you can't pull out your phone and say what else do they got, so you gotta figure it out. And I just saw an interview too, though, with Ozzy with that, like when he was like in the 70s. I wasn't alive then, but if anyone on here was, like, before MTV or before any of that stuff, like what it was really like though to go and get get music. And it wasn't, even MTV made it so accessible and stuff like that. The radio was even fucking hard because I remember I used to have to always call and always be like, please can you play this? And when you do the intro to Crowley, will you stop fucking telling me that fucking McCarthy tires are $4.99 off and let the fucking music play? But yeah. Anyway, just ran. That was my introduction to Ozzy too. I stole Twisted Sister Stay Hungry on vinyl for my sister. I used to play it on the Fisher Price turntable. Nice. That was my introduction. First album I ever got was actually Paranoid from my mother. She bought it for me. Nice. Twisted Sister, fucking D. Snyder. He follows my true crime show. Yeah, I guess he's all in the mafia stuff. Fucking I think he's from Jersey, D. Snyder. I might be wrong. But I seen them at the at King's College in like what year was it? 87, 88? At it was at Wilkes College. That's right. In the gymnasium, and it was fucking wild. Was it with Skid Row? Well, yeah, I think no, it was Skid. It was at the amphitheater. Actually, it was Skid Row, Twisted Sister, and fuck, who's it's gonna kill my head. Was it with Kingston Armory or it was Bud Light Amphitheater, I believe, up by Harvey's Lake. Don't quote me on that though, but I was like, it was one of those concerts. Like I didn't even know, like really, it's like going to a concert, all right. And then I went, and like the first real one that I remember, which like I didn't like choose to go to or whatever, and I'm not knocking or whatever. Well, the first band was Jackal. I mean, in like concert. Remember the Jackal with the chainsaws? There's a funny story. I have a history with them too, which is funny, but I'll save that for another time. But and Aerosmith. I was in 5th grade, I believe. Like meaning like big, huge amp, like concert, like fucking fit thousands. Was it the Get a Grip tour? Was it? I think, or maybe the album before that. But yeah, I remember I was like die hard Aerosmith, like growing up. Like the prior the dude looks like a lady Aerosmith, like old Aerosmith. I fucking love him. That was my shit back in the day. Ever put an Ozzy tape on Teddy Ruxpin? Yeah, there's actually I saw a video though of that actually. My first concert was Lollapalooza 96 with Metallica, Soundgarden, Rancid, and the Ramones. I was 13. Okay, so think of this. Thanks for saying that. You just said Lollapalooza, right? So 96 with Metallica, Soundgarden, Rancid, the Ramones. And then they tell Ozzy that he can't get in, and that's why they start Ozfest. But those bands there can. Like, why wouldn't? I mean, I'm very thankful that happened. But it's like look at that lineup right there in 96, and that was the year Ozfest started. It was 96. Yeah, because 97 was. Look, I'll never get rid of this napkin. I don't know if was it? I forget it was on. Gina was on. It was a night when I cut myself shaving, though, and I went through the 5-hour episode just bleeding. me 1 second. Here, let me just, for anyone that might be new on though, let me put on a clip for 1 second. Because I have to check something. Now, Zach Wildo would always say something like, oh, so I think it was 9 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Like when Ozzy would come in with his like a melody, would it pretty much be like the first one he came up with was pretty much that? That's it. Of course, you got to shape it up a bit, you know.
Yeah, of course, yeah. When Ozzy first heard what we'd done with Diary of a Madman, he hadn't been there the day that we were working that up. It was just me and Randy and Lee.
Yeah.
Well, Lee had an idea for a vocal melody for it because he was a good singer too, Lee, and he had the mic on the drum kit, and he was singing a rough idea of a vocal melody where it would fall and where it would go and stop and all the rest of it. So, but when Ozzy came back the next day and we said we've got an idea for the title track, Diary of a Madman, and we played it to him, but he didn't like it. He said, "Who the fuck do you think I am, Frank Zappa?"
Wait, about the title track?
He didn't get it. He didn't understand it because it had weird timings and strange.
Which it did, yeah.
Which was why I thought that it would make a really good title track, Diary of a Madman, because it had the weird timings and the chord patterns and parts. It was perfect for that.
It's one of the most. Yeah. Go ahead.
Eventually, Lee showed him. He said, "Look, the vocal will go here. It will go like this." And once he got it, he understood it, and then he liked it. But at first, he didn't like it, and he didn't want to do it.
Well, yeah, and you know, and the progressions of that songs and everything, the timing with the, like you were saying, and everything like that, it is definitely a different beast though to what he was like used to in the past, without a doubt.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Weird timings and weird chord structures and. Reason, and it really felt like that, you know.
Yeah. Well,
but, when I told him, I said the other two guys, I said I don't think they're world class, so he dismissed them straight off. He said, "Well, I met this other guitar player in LA." He said he's a great guitar player. He's a guitar teacher. And I said, "Who's that?" And he said his name is Randy Rhoads. And I said, "Well, nobody heard of him. He was."
All right, I did play that before. I want to hear this one. Perry Farrell was pissed at Metallica. What happened? You see what he just did at Dave Navarro not too long ago either? I mean, no disrespect to, with all due respect to Perry Farrell. It's a little diva-ish for me, but Jane's Addiction's a great band. I saw that, I was like, what? My first concert. I mean, that's a hell of a first concert, though, buddy. I'll tell you that right now. He bitched about them not belonging there the entire time. Yeah, because he was probably fucking worried about fucking because of the heaviness, though, of it, though, and all that type of shit. Like, what? Why else, though, would you bitch, though, about that? See, I got to look into that. I didn't know that. I got to look into that. That's interesting. Perry felt they weren't alternatives, so they didn't belong. Well, yeah, then he must have had a saying or whatever with Ozzy as well, and that's what created Ozfest. But and they're not alternative. They're not, you know what I'm saying? But still, whatever. All right, Perry. Was it that, or did he not want to get blown out by their bands? I don't know. But I don't know. Just being a dick. Yeah, co-creator law. I mean, he had something though to do with it, or director of entertainment, at least something. Absolutely. Because, well, yeah, you know, if that's what he, you know, that's his title. It's not like he was just in the band bitching that, like from the sidelines, which would even make it worse. But yeah. Let me see something here. You know, they should let you really, though, be able to load up, though, more stuff, though. But let me just do something real quick. get the where's the oh. One second.
It's out though, but I did put something about tires about.
Well, this would be good. So the title for tires
As the player and just a sign.
You should have a faster fast forward though, but it is what it is.
It was always John
It was the same reason they didn't want Ozzy. They didn't want our crowd at all. Well, yeah, that's what that's what was in my mind.
Rails or you're going off the rails or whatever. So I thought, well, you're going off the rails on a train.
Oh, that's a good story, yeah.
So that's how that came about. We're going off the rails. Train on the thing. It's so rare. I think I got it.
This one came back on here. Yeah, there you go. Hold on. A sneak peek. Or sneak listen. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know why the hell this isn't playing right.
Beginning of the song, only someone at the end of the cat and put rehearsing it, so that whatever I'm saying then, so I can tell him. Crazy saying.
It just goes away. It doesn't make any sense. Hold on a second. But the hours are there. Give me 1 second. StreamYard. Dun. Come on. Oh, beautiful. Passed. I'm an idiot. Apologies. No.
I know maybe you talked to many other.
With Diary of a Madman, he hadn't been there the day that we would work, and then
So
it
we
was
did
just
that.
me and Randy and me.
Yeah.
And we sort of, I suppose, impressed each other. Not
They're still
impressed,
with me. Thank you.
we just knew that it was going to work.
I guess my question, and you did say that earlier when you're like, you know, hey, this is definitely going to work, but like, you played with a lot of greats. I mean, from Richie to, you've been around the block. You knew right away, though, this kid absolutely was special.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, that was it. The last guitarist that I worked with was Richie Blackmore.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, so Randy, I didn't fall over backwards and start thinking, wow,
Yeah.
who's this kid? It's like, it was just another great guitar player. I thought, well, another one, it's like that. Because, I'd worked with a few good ones already.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Randy did have a special thing. He really did have a special thing. And the more we worked together, the more that his special qualities seemed to be exposed. And the more obvious it became that there's something special going on here.
And what was it about you, though, Bob, though, that, drew you so much, though, to music and made you want to be a bass player?
I started out on guitar when I was, I think I was 12, and we had a door-to-door salesman came round to the houses, knocking on doors and asking if there were anyone in the household that wanted to learn an instrument. And my mum encouraged me. She said, well, why don't you try guitar? And she said, if you don't like it and you want to give up, I won't make you do it, but at least try. So I tried. I turned 13, and then I started guitar the next week. And I was doing that for about a year or 15 months, just learning the basic rudiments of music and playing guitar and guitar chords and little melodies and things like that. And then one week, the teacher that had the guitar class, he put on a little band just to show us the various roles in a band, like a rhythm player, a lead player, the drummer, and a bass player. Well, that was, I think, probably one of the first times I'd seen in the flesh an electric bass. And as soon as he started playing, I thought, wow, I love that. It was just the warmth and the strength and the backbone and the rhythm and the whole vibe of this instrument, this electric bass. I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. And so I told my mum, and she said, okay, you can leave the guitar lessons and carry on with bass. And she got me a bass and an amp, and I used to wear out my sister's records, learning parts. This was back in '64. Yeah. So I was only a kid, you know. But that was it. Once I got my teeth in the bass, I didn't really want to do anything else. I just fell in love with the instrument. And then about 6 weeks after I decided to play bass, I saw the Beatles live. And I sat in front of Paul McCartney and watched her. And thought, wow, that was life-changing. It really was. Yeah.
No,
he was a good bass player, Paul McCartney.
Yeah, no. I mean, I absolutely. And I mean, I just, I'm like ear to ear smiling too, like just thinking of like, you're talking about all this, and then I'm just thinking like of your, like, your resume. I mean, like we were talking to, like, about Richie, obviously, Ozzy, like it's just Randy, like all the guys that you came through. I mean, you were on Bark the Moon, like with Jake. Speaking of, and I don't want to go jump the real head though on that though. I want to just real quick though before I Emily though did have a question that I want to just bring up on the Bark at the Moon thing. Just give me 1 second here. Plus this will edit out. And Bob, just so you know, this part will be edited out too. When I interrupt like that, you could tell me to go fuck myself. No, tell me to go fuck myself. It's not disrespect. I get excited. That's all it is. So I apologize.
No, you can ask whatever you like, and if you don't like what you hear later,
I love
it. You want to edit bits out or whatever.
This is incredible. Sure. This is incredible, Bob. You have no this is this is unbelievable. But hold on, I just want to get to her question because I definitely done promised her question. Where the hell is it? Okay, here we go. I wanted to get my question out there in case I'm busy. Till Bobby said hello from 84. Okay, well, where's your question at? Right here. Okay, wait, I emailed my question. Okay, here we go. Bob does who played what roles are. Okay. Hey, Bob, this question comes from Emily, Victrola lady.
Yeah.
From the Bark at the Moon days, would Bob Daisley know who played what roles during the making of Bark at the Moon video? The band members played various roles, like meaning, like like the werewolf stuff like that. Like was that all Oz? Do you know any?
Yeah, I think after that we had lawsuits against them, Lee Kerslake and I did, and I think there might be some changes in some of the films and in photographs and things like that where they took us out and removed us. Like the back cover of the album, Wizard of Oz, there was photographs of the band, and they've changed things, or little film clips that have changed things. But originally, the film clip of Bark at the Moon, obviously it was Ozzy done up in all his wolf gear. And Don Airy and I we had white coats on. We were supposed to be doctors.
Nice.
Struggling with Ozzy as he turned into a werewolf.
Struggling with Ozzy as he turned into a werewolf.
I don't know if Jake did did anything other than play and mime to his playing. Probably, I don't know if Tommy Orris. I know Don Airy and I were the two doctors that were sort of handling Ozzy turning into a werewolf was in a madhouse. I think it was actually a real madhouse. I think that place that we filmed it in.
Well, yes,
we had been an asylum.
It absolutely has, and that is what the question I was just going to say was, did they have any difficulties in the studio? I heard the location they recorded the video at was spooky, according to Ozzy. And that's what she said, that it was, in some type of asylum, though. And I could have...
It was closed down, but it had been an asylum in its earlier times, and it closed down, and it was kind of weird and spooky, and it would have been a good set for a horror film or whatever, but it definitely had some vibe.
Yeah, Emily goes, where was the abandoned Victorian era asylum they filmed Bark at the Moon video located in England? According to Ozzy, it was creepy. So do you know where it was?
Where it was? Oh, God.
Yeah, she said it was in England somewhere.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't that far out of London.
Okay.
It was sort of. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I can't think of the name of the place, but it wasn't that far out of London.
I mean, that's already 35 years ago, Bob. I mean, that's a long time ago already. Yeah,
it's longer.
Wait, well, 80, I'm 84, 94. Oh, yeah, what am I, top 45? I'm 45, yeah, because I was born in 81, yeah, a lot longer, by 10 some years. So, yeah, the little bit outside of London, though, yeah.
42, 43 years ago or something.
Yeah. So then, she wanted though to ask those questions. So thank you though very much though, Emily though, for asking those questions. So going though back though, Don, to when you're playing though with Ozzy and
okay, so Victrola, I told you I get the questions in, but that honestly was only, besides the other clips that I only showed on here that I had uploaded that you saw were only 1:30 each. So that's 3 minutes. And right there, and the other clip though. So yeah, you saw like about 10 minutes though of a 1 hour and 57 minutes and 38 second interview. So I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And I hope he answered the questions accordingly. Thank you, Lubas. I heard it. Yeah, no, I saw you in there. I was hoping you did. Because I don't know what I see the Red Cross and wait, I have a bunch of I have a bunch, but a bunch of Lost Arrows, Megadeth, Metallica, all tickets. Okay. I have my ticket stubs at Red Steamer when I saw them. I have my 2 tickets. Yeah, you know what, man? That's another thing, man. Like, doesn't it suck though? Like, when you if you go to a concert, it's like 0. I remember the binders with the ticket stubs. My good friend Dave Glissenfer, I remember, and he was a nut with Guar and certain other bands, and he was 2 months before the show, you go to his kitchen and he'd have fishing line hanging down with tinfoil over them in case the house burns down. And I started doing that too, which is funny. Not the tinfoil thing, but the tinfoil thing, but not hanging them down. But they were like ornaments on the ceiling for 2 months until the day. Then snatch them and just go to the show. But yeah, his daughter painted this. I miss Dave. He was a great guy. Keep the mouse phones there. I got Ozzy's cross on right now. I got it the day he passed. Nice Bark at the Moon was the first video I saw. I want an Ozzy cross necklace so bad. You want a real one? You got $2.6 million. I'll take that. Are you talking about the with all the crosses on it that comes down? That has to be at least, well, no, especially though the worth of it though. Now, like his actual one, way more than that now. But I mean, just alone, I always loved that fucking cross. Loved it. Have you seen? So yeah, I have. Yeah, So Tired video. Watched when it debuted. Yep. Have you seen? God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. Victrola, the documentary. You'll understand why I'm asking in a second. I want the one they saw on Ozzy's site. It's plated though. You see the bottom of that box too for the Bark at the Moon doll I have. It's like metal and it has Ozzy on the bottom and it's nice shred. But wait, where is this one? So Tired video. I watched it when it debut. Maybe you could find a replica Ozzy cross. No, I haven't seen the God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. Well, I was gonna say, well, if that's when he turned 60, and you'll absolutely love it. But I have it right there. I always I always show that one in Budokan or whatever. But my point being is that yeah, it starts off at a surprise party. He turns 60, and he's like, "We fucking made it" to Bill Ward because they're 60, and but there's a scene in it when he's like, he's in his new house and he's watching all those videos, and every single one of his old videos, and he can't even watch it. He's like, and he just fucking. He had to leave the room. It's so funny, and the camera and the directors of the film are like, "Where you going?" He's like, "I ain't watching that fucking shit." Especially when the Ultimate Sin though came on, and he turned around, and he went, "That's the one that did it." And he's like, "All right, serious," but it's great though. You should see that documentary. It's fantastic. I have the silver plated one. I would have the replica. I would love that replica gold one. I started wearing all sorts of cross necklaces when I was a kid because I wanted to be in Sabbath. The guy is so bad. LOL. So my buddy though, Peach though he's the one that turned me on though to Ozzy and all that. But I wanted to be Sabbath guy so bad. Oh yeah, same here. Musician, band, hair down to here, black hair. Absolutely. The good old days, like you said, my man. There's the good old days right there. In my glory. Yeah. Where's the comments at? All right, there they are. I never got an Ozzy cross, but would love one. Tony Iommi's Gibson SG came with silver cross pendants, but they were $20,000. Yeah, and you know what? That is seriously just I think one of probably maybe my favorite looking guitar, just his fret and just the color of I don't know. I love that guitar. You could say the red and white Eddie Van Halen Strike guitar. You could say the whatever. That guitar is just so fucking badass. I love it. I love it. And I love Geezer's bass too, though, with the Sabbath though, creature like right in it, and even just the way Geezer played. I put a short up of him today, if you guys seen. He was playing Mars, and next day Tony comes in and goes, well. For originally it was well. Then Tony went well, and hit the tritone. But just the way they'll give he's so like I don't want to say underrated, but yeah, like we don't hear and like bass players who are looked at as like holy shit incredible, like you see them in interviews, they always talk about Geezer. I'm just saying, like in general, the way like if you listen, like so if you listen to his isolated tracks, he's not playing just with tone. He's playing. He's going all over his. He's going like so. Iommi, yeah, he's the riff master, but with what Geezer's doing over his riffs, he's not just doing the with them. It just the feel of it. It's yeah, he's so good, and the way he attacks the bass, and even our last show at Back to the Beginning, uh, Ozzy's sitting in a chair like this, and he has Parkinson's and stuff, and like it's the at the end of the end of the night, basically, they're doing five. What was it? What did Sabbath do? He did 5 songs. Sabbath did 4. Yeah, 4 songs, and they have played in 20 years together with Bill, and Geezer though came out there. I just they were all great. Don't get me wrong, but I mean he was just I don't know. I think Geezer. Me and my cousin were talking about him at my father's dinner afterwards, though. Like out, like just shooting the shit. We were just like, that man is by far, I think, one of the best bass players of all time, hands down. I score got the cross in Fay 1. I named it the Godfather for 1,200. The Red SG special. I scored for 600. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like you're buying right now? That's awesome. I'm not musically inclined. I tried learning guitar when I was 15, but I didn't stick with it. So I asked my buddy about that, musically inclined, like, do you believe or whatever? And I was able to play just like basic stuff and then learn what I learned and stuff. But I don't know if it's musically inclined or like, the lack of interest of, not that you have lack of interest in music. You love music, obviously, Victor. I'm saying the lack of interest of just like, I don't know, the ins and outs of like learning or whatever. Because I was always wondering, like, like, could anyone be a musician? Could anyone be, and my buddy Jansen says yes. And so when you said musically inclined, no, I think if you sat down and someone showed you some stuff and you saw it and figured it out, especially on a piano, everything in the world that was ever written is fucking 12 notes. Just take a piano keys, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. They're right there. So that's just take 2, 3, boom, right there. Done. Right there. And everything in between. 12 notes from the C to the C. Done. Everything else is the same thing, just higher octaves up or lower. So, yeah. I'm not going to be able to explain how to fucking, but I'm just saying that I think people are more capable of playing than, or maybe not. I don't know. Because when he said yes, everyone could play, I didn't agree with him or disagree with them. I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's everyone. Like, for example, I can't draw for shit. Like, like I had an artist tell me, she's like, in 2 months, you're going to be drawing like that. And she showed me a picture and I was like, okay, we'll see. And I was still drawing stick figures barely, so still using a freaking roller to get the freaking line straight. So who knows? It's good. I played for 32 years, but got lazy. Nice. I got them the last few years. My birthday presents to myself. Yeah, but it always calls you back though, no matter how lazy you get it. Like sometimes your hands, like you just get that feeling like, I gotta play, you know what I mean? And that's why so the piano that I'm getting back that I have in storage here, which is my freaking baby, and this I cannot stand. What is going on with all this? Sorry. And then the amount of money you pay for a month for this service, I gotta tell you, I gotta give it a terrible star rating here. Hold on. Bring it back. I don't do that though, but still, come on. What is going on? Sorry, folks. I can't scroll down to anything else, and it's just bothering me. Thank you, EB. What you got? What I miss? I played 32 years. I think it's because nobody taught me, so I gave up. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, 100%. And but I still think that you'd be capable of doing it, and especially your love though for it. So I mean, if it's in you, and then like you learn a certain part, and then you'll have like an aha moment once you learn, and then yeah, I think you definitely could. Totally weird question. What was the cologne Ozzy used on TikTok? That I know everyone always said that Ozzy smelled fucking great. That was on that. Wait, hold on. I saw on TikTok that it was no number 88, but I don't know if that is true. That's a good question, but that's not. You're not going to find that on the phone either, right? I don't know the exact cologne he wore though, but there's like 3 separate people who met him. They told me like they hugged him. They're like, I smelled so good afterwards. He always wore like great cologne. Hold on, let's see. I just want to see what comes up on here. Ozzy's cologne. Speaking. Oh, it's called Check and Speaks number 88. It's a complex fragrance with notes of vetiver and sandalwood and has been described as a classic and powerful scent. While this is his known signature, some sources have also mentioned the strong vintage scent Vives Saint Laurent Gores, which is another fragrance he is famously known to wear. Let's get the price on a bottle of that. No, that can't be it. Hold on, let's see. Nope, that's not it. One second. No, I wish I could just put it up on the screen so you see what I'm doing. Number 8. Cologne. Price. It's not hard. And Walmart pops up. Okay. Number 88. Check and Speak. Here it is. It's actually not that expensive. Number 88 fragrance, our signature and most unique fragrance. Number 88 has a fresh woody top note, reviving ferns with the richness of warmth of geranium, rosata, classy, exotic from Genie. Friend of Louisiana, they come out and just making sure to say, yep, it is the same one in bottle car. So let's see. It's not, yeah, you're looking at number 88 of the perfume, 160 to $275. And yeah, so it's like 225 and under. Which I don't know why I would think that like he would have like his own like I thought that it would be more money. Number 88 by Check and Speaker site. There it is. Boom. As a guitar, they still teach theory and chords building on a piano. As a guitar, they still. Well, yeah, you learn theory on every. I learned music theory on a piano through the book Guitar Grammar, and piano too. Though, but but see, other people tell me like, so my guitar player AJ, I put a short up before of him when he's doing the Crowley solo. I'm just sitting there playing the chords. He will be like, yeah, but I always say it's easier because look, the piano's just laid out this or that, but then no, they think it's easier, and I'm like, nah, man. To me, at least, the guitar is a lot harder. But with piano, at times, sometimes though you're doing the bass, the vocal, the rhythm, so it's and and sustaining, or if you play an organ or like a church organ, that's completely different. Then you're almost like getting into a drum type, even like you're really into it. Like Wakeman from freaking Yes, he's unbelievable. But his son plays for Ozzy, Adam Wakeman. But yeah. Totally weird question where we got there, right? Cologne. Where did that question come from, by the way, Munchkin? Just out of curiosity. I mean, I don't mind it at all. I love it. And when you guys keep questions coming in, it keeps the show going. Once the questions stop after like an hour and a half, then I pretty much am going to go relax. And I think I played a lot of the Victrola. I don't you think? No, I played a lot of the Bob Daisley interview that uh I have though to release because I don't like doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Especially on this channel, how I always say it's like everyone's channel, this and that. Like, I'm not gonna, oh, I have an interview, let me hoard it or whatever. No, I want to throw it out there, but I just want to do it right. But I think I still played though a lot of good clips from that, and I'm happy. I didn't even realize I stopped on that clip though of your question, so I'm happy you got to see that answered already. It's expensive, but not worth it. It reminds me of sophisticated rock star. Number 88 has a heady scent, very strong scent, very masculine. Yeah, see, I don't know, like, the prices of someone like, if you're a multi-millionaire, so $200 is expensive for cologne for someone for it, you know what I mean? Yeah, for us to go pay $300, $275 for a bottle of cologne is definitely expensive, but his FICA score is a little different, so that's why I was curious on that. Welcome, silly munchkin. Have a good night, fairies. Fairies, wear boots, my man. Have a good one, buddy. Thank you so much. Okay, we got that. $180 to number 80. Okay, we're on the cologne. I'm getting it for me. Get it? The number 88 sample perfumes are excellent. Those are $6 each. I got it for myself. I had the guitar Grammar. It was Chinese to me. Yeah, my buddy AJ was like, and Jansen, and they're like, they're. It was great. There was like three of us though that were just going through the whole thing, and then learn theory and all that. We were already like writing songs. Some was just to learn like what we were doing, and then you go in Ionian, Dorian, Morian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Locrian, and all that stuff, modes and all that stuff. So it's I don't know, it's just real cool. It's like when you find it, they're like, aha, major, major, minor, minor, like major, major, minor, minor, major, major. No, I'm sorry, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor. It's like, aha, an Aeolian, and then all you got to realize is that every single minor scale you ever play, the third note, which is the flatted third, so whatever third note that you hit in a minor scale, that's always the major scale that it comes from. So always. So even like you find little tricks in the theory and stuff like that. Not that that's like, oh, big trip. I'm just saying like it just gives you a way to see. I don't know. It's great. It was great learning that stuff because I remember like I was able to like play stuff, and I play songs and this and that and like, but like I remember like by that like to play with these guys, I was like, fuck, I gotta like buckle the fuck down now because I thought like, oh yeah, look, I can play. No, I couldn't, and that's like when I really worked on technique and stuff like that and theory and well, the theory was more just learning it and stuff like that though, but um very happy though I did that though, but it was very frustrating at times because I didn't get it at first, and like I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, look at man, and I'd write like a good like fucking tune that they'd like and stuff. I'm like, listen, I wrote the fucking tune, let's go. They're like, no, let's learn all this stuff first, blah blah blah. I'm like, come on, but I'm so happy that like I humbled myself and sat there, and I'm talking like years, and yeah, so worth it. So worth it. All right. Are we on the cologne? Roll the bones, Chris. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for dropping by. Great to see you here, my man. I hope all is well with you. Appreciate you but stopping in, my man. Thank you so much. I didn't spend much time with it. I learned modes from scale positions. Well, here's the thing, Shred. I'm going to tell you something right now. Relative major is what you're talking about. Yeah, but exactly. But listen, There's okay, so let me ask you a question, Trent. I have a buddy, and there's even guitarists out there, professional guitarists who could just like they could play and they could, they could play funk, jazz, groove, whatever the fuck, metal, whatever they were, classical, all that shit, blues, all of it. Just because they might not know the exact name, oh, this is called the Dorian mode, or this is the harmonic minor, or this is the just because they don't know those like exact doesn't mean that they don't know like how to play them or where they're at and like where they're shaped up. And I know you completely understand what I'm saying, but because there's a lot of guitarists out there that are like that, and so in a way, when you like see what they're playing, you're like, oh shit, they're playing fucking C suspended second fucking to the, you know what I mean? Like you'll find chords that they're playing in there, but yet they don't even know the names of those chords that they're playing. That happens though as well. But for me personally, because when I was able to just like play instead of banging away as a kid, like I remember Moonlight Sonata, and I remember I heard Mr. Crowley, and I was like able to just like formulate chords. And then I took lessons for a year, but the lessons though were learn your normal minor scales, harmonic minor, major, and your major scales. So, and then also your triads. So that was just that for like a year. After that, though, then they wanted me to just learn reading music and this and that. And I did that for about 6 months. Did like a recital. I remember what the fuck was the song. Tick tock, I forget it. Whatever. I was so young. Did a recital, but then I was like, no, I don't want to just like, turn pages or whatever. Like I just want to whenever I sit down, I want to know where the scales are and I just want to create with it. And that's, that's what I did. And then I was doing that for a while and practiced and stuff. And but then though, when we all sat down with that book and really like, got down to the theory aspect, and then like we would just try and challenge ourselves and learn like very complicated songs, just even like they weren't our favorite or whatever, like, hey, learn this. And yeah, that's what we do. And it's also awesome though, too, though, like because I used to be in like original bands, but when you play, like when you learn covers, it's real cool to see. Like it's like what Bob was just talking about, the compositions, the Diary of the Madman. Like when you could see what Randy and them, what all those guys like were doing, it's like whoa, like like, and especially someone like Randy who taught music, he absolutely knows theory and knows what he's doing. So it's like wow, he utilized it like that to go to that, and then the fucking that to the like it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, we could all talk about that. When the guitar playing, which the guitar player is very fast. But besides being very fast, you could also whistle and hum his solos, which is just unbelievable. There's no filler notes in his solos or nothing. And man, yeah, that guy was just so good, so fucking good. Because the relative minor is natural minor scale. Aeolian mode, yeah, is a sixth interval. Exactly. Yep, absolutely. That's why you could also say too, if you want to know though, like your Aeolian, what minor scale though, is it really come like C major is A minor? You know what I mean? So it's all all you have to know is the major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor. So then you go Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor. And then it goes back to the major. But the only thing though with that shred too is like one time we had a buddy and like we all so this is after like we knew theory for a while and we were jamming and stuff and we came up like with something real fucking cool. Like it was real cool. And everyone was like, yeah, it was like a magic moment. It was just real cool. But he's like, no, we didn't go C major seventh, and then we didn't suspend. Like he was like trying to throw like a the fact that just because though we didn't though use a certain chord to go like I don't do that. Like it's like sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? Or this is more. You don't need to play a fucking seventh chord jazz chord every time. Like just because you didn't. If it's needed, that's great. But that's what I seen that happen a lot with people though, who would get sucked into theory so much that there was like, no, but you got to do it like this, or it has to be like this, and you got to trick them like this. But then that takes away though from the soul and the feel of the music. You know, theory is just a great backbone to have. Great backbone to have when if you're just like, oh, I want to write something that sounds like this or sounds like that or whatever, and you just, it's fucking. It's not that you could like sit down and just write like whatever, but it's like it's great, especially for like what I do though, like with film scoring and stuff like that for documentaries and stuff. It helps big time because I don't have to think like, okay, write a song though that's about some broad though that left this fucking guy, or about what a song though about my inner demons or my inner thoughts and my inner, or the song like no, you just right to what you're seeing, and but that I think it's a lot easier. What's the other name of the cologne Ozzy wore? Are you serious? I mainly play by ear. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that at all, and meaning that you play by ear. But so everything I'm talking about with theory, you already know, but just because you don't know by the name of it, like you're already playing it. Exactly. I play by ear too, but it's just though that just because you don't study music theory doesn't mean that you necessarily don't know theory. Like Slash from Guns N' Roses, he doesn't know music theory. And he says, oh, he's like, I only learned 2 scales. But even though he plays different scales, the point being is that he knows other stuff. Just because he doesn't know it by definition doesn't mean that you don't know it. And the same with you, Shred. My late fiance played by ear. He played a Fender Strat. Yeah, it's my buddy AJ played. That's what he's ripping on in that Crowley solo I put up today in the shorts. No pedals, no nothing. He's just on the Fender. That was next day because when I went to meet him, I was like, all right, AJ, for some reason I thought he was just like, a singer, songwriter, strum, acoustic guitar. I don't know why I had that vibe from him. I don't know where it came from. That's what I thought. Like, Grateful Dead, this and that. No disrespect to them at all. But just that's what I thought, where I was looking for someone that was more like what he is. And then I saw a pedal board when I got there. Then I saw the Fender, but then I saw like a Gibson and a Steel. I was like, he had a lot of guitars, and he did have acoustics and stuff. But then we just started playing, and then I told him I was like, yeah, I play with a lot of people. No one nails his solo though down quite right with Crowley. And I wasn't telling him to learn it. I was just like, and he wasn't as big. I mean, he loves Ozzy, and he loved like he's diehard Sabbath, but it wasn't like that, like a necessity that he had to learn that. So after I left this house that night, I get a fucking message like through my Google Drive through him, and he's like, "Does that sound all right?" And it's just on the acoustic guitar, and he's doing this outro, so the second solo to Mr. Crowley on acoustic guitar. And I'm like, holy fuck, just nailing everything. No pedal, no nothing, whatever. And then the video I put up today was literally the next day of him just on the Fender with no pedal, just learned it. I was like, yes. So it's like overnight though, he learned like it just, yeah, he's so good. Yes, I missed what you said earlier about it, Loomis, about the cologne. Oh, it was the number 88. AJ shredded it. I saw that jam. Yeah, it's my man. He's the one also, whenever you hear the music on here, me and him, that's it. He's always the good. I always put it in the creds. That's him too. I can't get the picking technique. Yeah, I'm not a guitar player, my man. I just strum some chords and stuff, but on that one, you're gonna have to look up some tutorials or go somewhere else. I don't know anything about that. And that's the thing about the guitar for me. People are like, "Nah, man, doing the piano and this and stuff is hard." Like I'm like, no, like I don't know, like just let's jump till from the fucking from the top string down to the fourth, and maybe you might have to hit the fourth like fucking 5 fucking times, and then the fucking second one from the top 2 times, and then 3, and then I don't know. Guitar's hard. the whole thing where like people were like, "Oh, you can play piano, you can play anything." I disagree with that. Bass, I can play a little bit of bass. If I had bass and like I really put my mind to it, I'd be all right at bass. I believe, even though I wouldn't be like Geezer Butler. I'm just saying that I could see me learning, like to where I could like hold a groove, not but guitar, nah. I know how, just physically can't. Ah, suck. Sorry to hear, my man. I don't know if you meant because of a health issue or like arthritis or anything though like that and stuff. I remember I had a phobia like when I was a kid. I used to always think I'm going to lose a fucking finger. And one time I was running up the steps. I was running up my basement steps, and there's in the wall there's a piece. That's why if you look here, see how that finger goes like this right here. Wait, let me. I have to put them next to each other like that, like that. You can definitely see the difference though. How this finger here is drooped down, and where this one here goes up. See, this one here can't go up. That's drooped down. So I remember I heard the phone. I was young. I was coming the steps, and a piece of the wood in the wall by the basement just went underneath my fingernail and went all the way down to here. Like I'd say right down by the ring. Oh my God. You want to talk about pain? That's Chinese torture too. That's what that is. That's what they do. And making kneel on rice. But also, while they do that, the kneel on rice is like a fucking, that's an hors d'oeuvre. That's like a massage compared to this. But my point being, though, is I remember I had my hand in the cooler the whole night. And then when I went to the doctor, they even put the Novocaine in. And they, right when they pulled it out, he was just like, holy shit. He's like, do you want it? I'm like, yeah. It was a big piece of wood like that just stuck down there. But the craziest thing though was it made my finger crooked like this, but now my middle finger, it's so fucking strong. It's even stronger because I'm right-handed. It's so much stronger than every other. It's insane. Like, so I kept thinking, I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to play, but it actually in that aspect it worked. But man, that hurt. That hurt. Gotta practice. That's sometimes too you fall in those technique shred of I broke the ring finger on my fretting hand. It stopped growing when I was 13. At that age. Hey all, hey. What is going on, Kilo, in the house? I got sloppy, so I have to retrain. Kilo, great to see you, my man. Thanks for being here, brother. Great to see you. I was just gonna say I gotta practice. Well, you know what happens too. Hey EB, how's it going though, Loomis? How's it going, my man? Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Nothing, just a random, no normal little Ozzy Talk live. I jumped on and I showed some clips of the Bob Daisley interview and played some clips that I'll be releasing this week. And yeah, we're just here shooting the shit, having a good old time. Silly Munchkin for life in the house. Though who did it? Oh yeah, I have to check on the thing. So she's got the wrench. Gina's got the wrench, and then okay, I got it. Hold it down, silly Munchkin. I love it. I love it. My left ring finger is slightly shorter than my right hand. It's not noticeable unless I hold them together. My left ring finger is slightly shorter than my right hand. Are you saying though your right hand from where? Your middle finger? Oh. Oh. Hey, look what Tony Iommi did when he lost his fucking two fingers. He lost day of work. And besides Tony Iommi, his biggest inspiration was Django Reinhardt. Django Reinhardt. Speaking of AJ shredded on Mr. Crowley, he named his dog Django after Django Reinhardt. And that was Tony Iommi's inspiration. And Django Reinhardt only had 4 fingers. And yeah, if you don't know who Django Reinhardt is, look him up. You could always figure out. It's all about how bad though you want it, though. You know how bad but it's so frustrating. And you know what? Those shred, I get those times too. Like I'll just plug in, I'll just play stuff that, which is good in a way. Like let's say, like I'll play something that like I wrote that. Okay, I stayed sharp in that. Then I'll play like the Moonlight Sonata. Okay, that's good because yeah, it's a good practice song. You stayed sharp on that, whatever. But then I'll just play a bunch of songs like I already know, which is good and all. And then but that's all I do instead of like, no, okay, you're here now. Try to go up to here. I get in ruts like that too, but it's crazy. Ever since Ozzy passed, it's just weird. Like I just been wanting to get way better at music. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So now I just challenge myself to all the thing because I already know those other things. You know, even though it's good to, because if you stop playing a certain song that you learned for years or whatever, not saying that you can't play it perfectly after a while, but it's good to stay. Even every band in the world, every song before they come out on stage, they fucking they rehearse the shit out of it. So yeah. What we got? Right hand's ring finger. Got it. Might be of a difference. It's only slight. A silly munchkin fortress forced me to learn how to use my pinky for added reach. What kind of guitar you got? Or what's like your what's your preferred dream fucking guitar? And you know what I love though about you know what's real cool about guitars, I should say, because my buddy AJ says this too, is that yeah, you could get a Fender, you could get a Gibson or all that, though you get pedals and all that, but like finding though like your tone, that's what takes the longest, like your like tone. Like David Gilmour, no one could emulate his tone because of his fingers. Doesn't matter what fucking pedal you get, this or that, you know when it's him playing. And that's the difference though with guitarists from like keyboards where like you don't have you know you could have a style of like, oh, that's definitely this type of that person's song, but I'm just saying though the tone of guitar players and when they find their tone, uh that's gotta be awesome. And yeah. What we get here, forced to learn how to play it. We got that. I want to get a 24 fret USA Jackson Rhoads. Nice, and they're comfy on the leg. But what was I going to say? Well, then, yeah, get it up though. But do you practice unplugged or plugged? See, my buddy, I did with Jansen, I believe, who was on. See, he plays keys now, but he's a magnificent guitarist. He's like a professional studio guitarist, though. But he used to always just, laying his bed, but just without it on. And then when you could get those notes to ring, just like when AJ sent me Crowley acoustic, I was just like, yeah, boom, he's got it. Because, you're not missing one. It's just, sometimes, people hit distortion. It's easy to sustain or you miss a note or whatever. But when you learn like that and the exact times, and if you use a metronome and get everything down, and when I play with AJ, we don't have a rhythm section except me when I'm doing the bass parts. So it's just him on guitar. So but we have this thing though where I don't know, we just know when to stop and when to go. And it's great. It's cool. Before COVID though, we had a violinist. She was fantastic. And, but we got to get back into it because we have to finish the score up anyway though this week. All right. Where are we at? Tone. Same with bass. Yep. Speaking of bass, I just got done watching on Rick's show the Les Claypool interview. I have two Epiphone Tony Iommi SGs, an Epiphone Zach Wild Les Paul, a Jackson RR2 4Q, and an LTD Road Style Lexi Leho RIP. A Jackson Soloist 3L 3Q and a Jackson King V Pro. Well, I think you're doing all right there, then, Shred. That's quite though the collection you have there, and R.I.P. to Alexi Leo. Fucking love that dude. Children of Bodom back in the day. Fucking, I saw him a few times, 3 or 4 times, I'd say at least though. But it's sad though. But yeah, no, that's quite the collection you got there, my man. And make sure they don't get no dust on them. I'm sure they're cased up, but play those fuckers. Will you be live streaming tomorrow night on Saturday? See, I was thinking because of this whole week, like with the wake and funeral and stuff, I'm just out of my mind. Oh yeah, it's Saturday now. So you know what? To be honest with you, probably if yeah, maybe if I'm just because I'm not going anywhere tonight and after this just happened and stuff like that. I mean for the next week and stuff till things settle down. So probably. And then the normal Monday at 7 p.m.s with Gina as well. And then I want to see if I could. And then I'm going to be dropping interviews every week and just normal videos that I'm doing. And then like I always do, the 2 shorts a day. And please keep using the community. I appreciate you all who use that. It's great. Wow, Fortress, that's an impressive collection. Yeah, I know, isn't it? I'm like, okay, very impressive. I was bummed. I had the Les Paul 22 years. My dad got it from me. 21st birthday. The Alexi I've had since 06. Yeah. Yeah, man, he was fucking good, man. I have weekends off. I work every day, though. Do you work second shift, nights, or you've first shift? Thank you, EB. I thought I would spoil myself after a break. Well, that's definitely spoiling yourself. I will keep using the community. Oh, please do. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I like though doing these lives though, but what I would though like doing is I come on here and these are just the wing at lives. And obviously, I had some I just interviewed Bob Daisley, so I was able to play some clips from that. I just love talking to yous, but that's why I try telling people, anyone that ever wants to, like how Gina hops on or whatever, anyone is welcome to come on at any given time. And if they don't want to show their face, there's avatars, there's this or that. Please, the door is open for everyone. I know I always say that, but I mean it. And not just for posting in the community. That's why I look at Silly Munch because she's already rocking the rent. She's not fucking around. She's in there already wrenched up. Look at her. Boom. I think I spoiled myself with the Ozzy stuff. Yes, I work night second shift. I'm janitors. Okay, so then these lives then are the ones then that you get to see the Friday and Saturday night ones more. I was thinking about doing something on Silly Munch. There she is, holding it down. I was thinking though about doing something on Sunday though, but sometimes Sundays like people are what's the word I'm looking for? Because the week started and stuff like that. But I was thinking though about doing like some type of. But then no, that might be no, that's too quick because then Monday is the 7 p.m. Maybe something on a third, yeah, maybe Thursday. Or maybe Monday, Wednesday. And these are just random. These are just like me. I'm sitting here, like I'm done with for the day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come on and say, hey, what's up, people, and talk to you about what's going on, and that's all these are. That's what these Ozzy Talks are, and we call it Ozzy Talks. That's what we usually talk about is Ozzy and other musicians, and just what we're doing tonight. So Yeah, and I appreciate you all who hop on. I really do. Bob is an awesome bass player. Yep. Oh yeah, and he's just the way how he was talking, like when him and Ozzy were just like, nah, these guys aren't high class enough, boom. And then they were gone, and then that's when Randy and Lee came in, and it was just boom. Like that magic dough chemistry, and not to mention, I mean his resume, and like Uriah Heep, and Richie Black. I mean, he already before you heard what he said in the clip. That well, it wasn't a clip; it was the audio that I had just listened to before he was answering Emily's questions. Was you know, he came from playing from Richie Blackmore to Randy Rhoads, but then he was just like, oh wow, great, like another one, so as in like a great player and stuff. So and you heard him out. He's like, Randy looked at me and was like, hey, yeah, so that just shows you like even the respect, like, he had like for Randy coming from like, because Randy was just an unknown, like, because Bob didn't know Randy was. Bob is already, was been established. I mean, played Richie Blackmore. He's out in the UK, this and that. And been playing since 73, 72, whenever. Point being though is it just goes to show you that, like, damn, if he was even like that though with Randy, and you could tell from talking to him, our talk, he's like, if you're in a room though with him, he's the type that's just gonna say, nah, next, like, he's a straight shooter. I love it. And but yeah, it was great. It was just a great interview, and very, very positive, and all the questions got answered. That was pretty much all of them, Pamela. I mean, there was only two other people who asked the questions. The other ones were just the personal moments with Ozzy, and I mean that just happens as you hear. But the Bark at the Moon stuff, I hope though that he answered that for you good. I'm usually at work from 5. I hate to bail. Shred, if you don't touch one of those guitars, and at least don't go start from the A, and then go to the A sharp, to the B, to the C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, and do every single major, minor, harmonic minor, natural minor, and melodic minor, and then go to bed. All right, buddy. Thank you for being here. But I have to take a 4-hour nap before work this morning. Catch you guys later. Peace. But love that collection you got, buddy. And thank you for being here in the chat tonight. Appreciate you, Shred. Always a great time and honor. I always loved Tommy Aldridge. I thought he was great in Ozzy's band. Oh yeah, no, and you hear him rocking at 74 years old. That's the age my father's at. My dad passed at 74. Tommy's still rocking at, like, look up on YouTube, Bark at the Moon. Tommy Aldridge, age 74, just still killing it. And yeah, no, he's a great guy. Absolutely. I love watching his stuff. And, I have him. See, I don't know why I can't get to I don't know why. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to close this out tonight. 1 second. Let me see something. Give me 1 second. And I am back. I apologize though about that, folks. Now let me see if I could get, yes, now I'm back into where I could actually um get to. So but I threw those pics out though because I had to put it to the Bible and then the oh, that's from the, no, that's from the big thing yesterday. That's the Bark at the Moon. No. Oh yeah. Well, really doesn't. Well, yeah, I would have to get down here anyway, though, towards the end. And yeah, I just want to show off that piano one more time. Sorry, can't wait to have that back. It's my baby. I always love Tommy Aldridge. He's amazing. Have a good night, Fortress. Peace, Fortress. And thank you for the Bob Daisley interview. Yes, he answered it perfectly. You are so welcome. And that is nothing. That's only, like I said, you probably got a total of like 8-9 minutes of it out of an hour and 57. So, I don't want to just, like I said before, a picture, and then you see the picture for like a while. Like I don't know, I want to edit it up though, edit it up nice and not rush it out there. And when I say that, I mean like it'll be out like in like 3-5 days time. But I will though. I definitely though will release though at least like a good 15-minute though to 20-minute though clip on it though, going like back and forth about what we're gonna, because we covered so many. We covered like Blizzard, we covered Diary, we covered Bark at the Moon, we covered part of Ultimate Sin with the writing parts, we covered the uh and then up until No More Tears, and then how he spoke very highly of Mike Inez and all that type of stuff. And yeah, it was great. So stay tuned for that. Tommy still has that full head of hair. Yes, he does. Just like in the video, man. Just like the only video of Randy that we get to see of really rocking out though and stuff. And with Tommy, when they're playing well, everything. Um, but that version of Crowley's like slowed down like a little bit and stuff, but just the way though that he's rocking out and stuff though, he's great. No, great drummer, absolutely. And he came over from Whitesnake, right? If I'm not mistaken. I believe he played with them for a little while. Yes, Tommy Aldridge kills it like he's 20-something. Yeah, no, for real. And it's impressive. Still killing it. And thank you for that. Got that. You bet, Ems. Tommy Aldridge got that. Sorry. Tommy still has that full head of hair. We got that. Seen a video of Tommy solo. He threw the sticks out and played the second half with hands only. I saw that too, Kilo. Yep. He's been, I don't know if he's been, maybe because I don't know, because I typed him in, but he's been jumping in my feed though a lot. And he throws out though a lot of content of him now, currently playing. And he's fucking fantastic. And the stories that he tells and how he tells the stories and all that, it's just his energy's great. And I believe his page is probably just Tommy Aldridge, right? I mean, what else would it be? Let me see here. Tommy. Yep, there he is. Yep, Tommy Aldridge topic. Oh, wow. He only had 597 subscribers. Oh, that's because that's not, never mind. That's not it. Sorry. I was like, something's wrong here. That's not it. Don't listen to me. Now these are the ones that I was talking about. I was saying, see, that's because he was on Drumeo. So he doesn't have his own YouTube channel. But 3 weeks ago on Drumeo, he was on the iconic drummer behind Bark at the Moon, and it's called. I should just go to my other account where the premium is, but Drumeo.
Hey guys, ladies. Tommy Aldridge here. I'm here to share some information about my time spent with the company of Ozzy and Randy and so forth and so on. And this is a track that I did with Jakey Lee playing. It was not long after we...
They're gonna end up cutting that, so I just put that on real quick. But like, yeah, that just dropped 3 weeks ago. It's called Drumeo, Drumeo is the station, and there's a lot of clips of Tommy on there, current clips of him. Never seen drums played like that. Pretty impressive. I love his kit though too. Like if you saw that overhead with his cymbals and the chinas and the freaking it's a nice kit. Seen that video is good. Yeah. I mean, you can watch the long version, and they have it all clipped up as well on Drumeo. But all you do is type in Tommy Aldridge. Ignore the Tommy Aldridge hyphen topic, because I saw 537 subscribers and subscribed. I clicked on it, and there's not one video on it, so that's not his YouTube. So I don't think he has a YouTube page. Well, we're already at 2 hours 16 minutes. We're going for 1:30. I'm getting pretty tired. I know I usually do 5 hours at a time. Tomorrow I'll do longer though, but this week was draining, and emotions drain you. So let's put it that way. But still got the Bob interview done, and I'm working on that for you. And if you jumped in on this late, I played about close to 10 minutes, I would say, of that interview if you want to rewatch. Seen that video is good. Chris Jericho you had recently did a good interview with Jakey Lee. Yep, I saw that. Yeah, no, Jake's man. Yeah, we talked about Jake too. You know about Jake getting shot and stuff, and he got lucky. I mean, that whole clip though was emptied out on him though, and he's lucky he only got shot where he got shot, and only 3 bullets hit him though. But no, yeah, what a humble guy, great guy, and we definitely talked about Jake, and we talked about, like, you know, the shoes, not only the shoes that he had to fill of Randy, you know, but the shoes that he had to fill of those 2 iconic albums. I mean, Blizzard and Diary. I mean, you know, and then you got to come over and boom, and as you'll hear from Bob, he was like, you know, Jake was fantastic, and I actually think Richie complimented it, Blackmore. He brings him up about Jake, which I'll save for you guys though on the interview. But it's a great interview. Can't wait for you to see it. And wild circumstances on how he got shot. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is crazy. But I want to thank everyone. Victrola, you're the best, and I'm happy I got your questions answered. So be on the lookout. There'll be 2 parts Bob Daisley interview. And before I go, for anyone else though, if anyone new jumped on, I will play the one clip, and then I'll close with the other clip. But I am very tired, a little hungry, and I'm going to relax after a long week. Thank you all so much. I love you so much, and you all have a beautiful night. And contact the channel at Ozzy Osbourne Tribute Page at gmail.com, and subscribe to Into the Void, Ozzy Osbourne Tribute. Thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed the interview from Bob Daisley. Good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow night. Now, Zach Wildo would always say something like, oh, so I think it was 9 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Like when Ozzy would come in with his, like a melody, would it pretty much be like the first one he came up with was pretty much that? That's it. Of course, you got to shape it up a bit, you know.
Yeah, of course, yeah. When Ozzy first heard what we'd done with Diary of a Madman, he hadn't been there the day that we were working that up. It was just me and Randy and Lee.
Yeah.
Well, Lee had an idea for a vocal melody for it, because he was a good singer too, Lee. And he had the mic on the drum kit, and he was singing a rough idea of a vocal melody, where it would fall and where it would go and stop and all the rest of it. So, but when Ozzy came back the next day and we said, we've got an idea for the title track, Diary of a Madman, and we played it to him. but he didn't like it. He said, "Who the fuck do you think I am, Frank Zappa?"
Wait, about the title track.
He didn't get it. He didn't understand it because it had weird timings and strange.
Which it did,
chord,
yeah.
Which was why I thought that it would make a really good title track, Madman, because it had the weird timings and the chord patterns and parts. It was perfect for that.
It's one of the most. Yeah. Go ahead.
Eventually, Lee showed him. He said, "Look, the vocal will go here. It will go like this." And once he got it, he understood it, and then he liked it. But at first, he didn't like it, and he didn't want to do it.
Well, yeah, and the progressions of that songs and everything, the timing with the, like you were saying, and everything like that, it is definitely a different beast though to what he was like used to in the past, without a doubt.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Weird timings and weird chord structures and. Reason, and it really felt like that,
Yeah. Well,
but, when I told him, I said the other two guys, I said I don't think they're world class, so he dismissed them straight off. He said, "Well, I met this other guitar player in LA." He said he's a great guitar player. He's a guitar teacher. And I said, "Who's that?" And he said, "His name's Randy Rhoads." And I said, "Well, nobody heard of him." And David Arden didn't want to fly Randy over because he was unknown, he was young, and he was American, and they wanted to keep it as a UK-based band. And so David Arden said no at first. And eventually Ozzy and I talked him into getting Randy over, and when the three of us met up in Jet Records' office, that would have been about October '79, we caught a train together up to Ozzy's place and began, we just sort of had a play together, and Ozzy sang, and we just jammed, really. Well, Randy and I got on like a house on fire as well. As soon as we started playing, the first break that we had, we said almost simultaneously to each other, "I like your playing," something like that, a line like that, like "good playing," or "I like your playing," or "I like the way you play," something like that. But we said it at the same time.